everybody. This is Uncle Yab, and we're gabbing with Yab. And tonight, I have a guest with me, and a good friend of mine. His name is Richard Carrington. How you doing, Rich?
Oh, very good, man. Glad to be here.
Okay, I'm glad to see you, man. It's been a while. We've been trying to get this together, and so now we're able to do it. So just tell me, Rich, what you been up to?
Well, working, trying to survive through this COVID epidemic, and now with all the rallies and the protests, and you know, trying to do my part to help in our search for justice.
Right, right. And I'm the same way, man. A lot of things we doing now is things that's supposed to count because now we have a platform,
Yes.
and this is what we need to use it for because, as you know, things have really been unjust for us for 400 years.
Yes.
Blacks have been mistreated, and just things have been done to us that's not been fair. And tonight, you and I are going to talk about Father's Day and what it's like to be a father from your perspective and mine.
Yes.
So if I'll let you start, you got the floor right now.
Perfect. Perfect. I mean, we talked before in the past, and I think our growing up is a little bit different. Whereas my father was around, but he wasn't in the home.
Right.
So there were certain things that I had to learn on my own, and things that I had to go through in life to discover. So when I became a father, it was emotional. It was something that was difficult, and it was a sharp learning curve. But what I did was take examples
Right.
of people I knew and implement them, and it was trial and error. I wanted, you love your child or your children, and you say, well, I'm starting with love, so what I can do from that point is just build on it.
Oh, yep. I understand.
So
I understand.
now, some 21 years later, and I'm raising another young man. My goals as a father have changed somewhat, and as well, I'm developing two young men. I'm working to, just prepare them for the real world, and the real world is unfolding right in their eyes.
You're right. You're right, man. I like the way you put that. And as a father myself, and getting back to what you just said, you have to pave the way for them, the young guys.
Yes.
You're the father, and you got to teach them right from wrong, and you got to show them the right way of doing things,
Yes.
not only as men but black men.
Absolutely.
Because like you all know, like everybody else knows out here, we going through a lot of different things. So we want to be able to raise some positive black men out here.
Absolutely.
And if you have, unfortunately, you have sons. I have daughters,
Yes,
but still, I'm raising some positive black women.
Yes.
But that's fine too. That's fine. And a lot of times it's hard to find good men out here.
Yes.
And I know, getting back to your situation and your story, I know that you wrote a book and everything called Duke and Me. And I went to your premiere of that, and I liked that. That was really good. That was really good.
I appreciate
So
that.
I want to put you on the map with that. Rich is also he's a writer and an entrepreneur. And we just wanted to come in here and say a few things about that. As far as my situation, like Rich said, we probably came from different backgrounds, but I had a father in the home.
Yes.
And he always stayed on me and always was teaching me right thing and the wrong thing to do. And he definitely instilled a good work ethic in me. Although my mom and him, they divorced, but he still was there, and he was a big influence in my life.
Yes.
And a lot of time I always say, my heroes wasn't Michael Jordan, my heroes was my dad.
Yes.
So he definitely, distilled fear in me, and he gave me good discipline. And I think I came out to be a better person, so and I definitely owe that all to him. And it's definitely different, when you have that a person that's in your life that's willing to show you different things, not by telling you about, but by showing you as well.
Yes.
So
I really appreciate that learning style too, because they're teaching you from experience. They're protecting you, and you I see you. I know you do a lot with your daughters, and that's got to be challenging.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Rich.
And it's amazing because you said something that really resonated with me when you said your hero was your father.
Right.
And I remember reading one of my son's papers in school, and he said, I was his hero, and that blew my mind.
Of course, of course.
And I said, well, that's a lot to live up to, but I'm going to work towards it.
That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do, man.
And like you said, with Black Lives Matter and all the other things going on, getting ready to come on Juneteenth. There's a lot of history. There's a lot of knowledge that we as fathers have to put into our children so they understand where they're coming from, what we've overcome.
Right.
Even what you have overcome. I mean, I know from the South, and then you were in the service.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure there were so many things that you had to overcome as a black man, in those situations, even serving your country. And,
That's
true.
Thank
you for your service.
I appreciate that. And you're right about that, man. It wasn't always easy. I had a situation run in. I had a few things in the military where I had my workshop supervisor. He was a white guy. And, it was an instance where I went to work for 2 weeks somewhere else. And I came back and he had all the locks changed. So I said, man, why'd you do that? And his answer was to me, he didn't want none of my brothers to come up there to the shop. I said, what do you mean, man? I said, I work here too. So he did a lot of other different things to me too that I didn't like, and I addressed him. And he didn't come out as mean to me, but I did look at him as it's not going to change.
Right.
So I took it to the command master chief of the base of my command, and that's a guy that if you have problems with the enlisted personnel, you would go to him and say, hey, Master Chief, I have a problem, blah, blah, blah. So basically I came to him, and to make a long story short, that Master Chief said, yes, he's racist, so what you going to do about it? Yeah, so that blew my mind.
Yes.
So then I just said, you know what? Okay, that's fine. So I knew how to handle that guy. And I just kept doing what I had to do, and I just understood that, okay, well, this is not the platform to fight this. So I just took it as it was worth. I treated him with a long-handled spoon like your parents used to say.
Yes.
And I kept doing my job and just let him be him. Because in the military, you always find out that you got a lot of a-holes out there, but they won't last for long. They'll either move or transfer and stuff like that, and then you can get somebody good or somebody bad. But that's the good part about that, having a a-hole or somebody that you don't like or somebody that's racist. They won't always be there.
Right.
But I had some instances where it was definitely racial tones there. I'm not going to say a big thing, but it was definitely racial individuals there.
That takes a lot of discipline to be able to, deal with that without, resorting to violence all the time or, wanting to cuss somebody out. Even though it's in you, it takes a lot of discipline. And I think that, this whole George Floyd case has awoken a lot of people, especially many of our white brothers and sisters, to see that, wow, these black dudes really do go through some things.
Yeah, you're right.
And,
you're right.
Watching that, 8 minutes and 46 seconds of that man kneeling on his neck.
Oh, that was something.
Him, begging, pleading for his life.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think it awoke something in all of us. And, for us to go on further and to instill, because I couldn't help but think about my son, if he
That's
got
right.
pulled over and something like that happened, how devastated I would be.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
I was devastated just by watching this brother that I had, no relationship with.
Right. We didn't know him, but we could side with him because we kind of understand. And it hurt us. It was almost like he was a part of our family.
Yes.
And just seeing that man was just, and a lot of people want to say it was his death, but no, that brother was murdered.
Yes.
So it's all in how you phrase things. He was murdered.
Absolutely.
And it was rough. So I'm glad, not that it was unfortunate for him that he lost a life, but in turn he springboarded a lot of things that's going on now. And a lot of times when you have a hero like that, you have a person that sacrificed their life
Yes.
for the goodness of others. This is what's happening now.
Yes.
And not only that, Rich, this is history here, man.
Yes.
2020 and what we're going through now, especially with this pandemic, this is definitely history.
Yes.
You know, so
We're living it.
yep. And a lot of people gonna look back 10 years from now and say, man, 2020 was something else, you know, and you know, whether it's good or bad, it's definitely gonna be something to talk about. You know.
As I reflect, I just think about this coming Father's Day. That young girl, his father won't be there with her.
That's true. That's true.
And, fathers are important.
You're right.
And they're really irreplaceable.
That's right.
So as a man and a father, I just feel like I said more charged to do better.
Right.
And to do more.
Mm-hmm.
And to help some young brothers that are fatherless.
Right. Right. It's a lot of them out here.
And we can do it in simple ways. Like you said, your father, he modeled it for you. He showed you what to do.
Right.
Us, doing the right things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And being present, and people seeing us, being able to look at us and say, these men have integrity, and they do what they say.
Exactly. Exactly.
That can be a blessing to someone.
You're right. You're right. Yep. That's and I'm glad you put it like that, because not like I said, once again, we don't always have a lot of good fathers out here, but as long as you and I can be that model, that role model for good fathers, then I think we'll have the young guys follow suit and follow us. Because the old saying, each one teach one.
Yes,
and that's what we got to do, brother. With the what we need, prayer and everything, because it's definitely hard. It's definitely hard, and you and I was put together for a reason, So and this is our first time getting together to do this little talk podcast, and I'm glad to have you on board. And it's been a while, and I've been trying to get you on board. And once again, fans out there, this is Richard Carrington. And he has a book called Duke and Me, and you also get his book on Amazon. Just look up Richard Carrington, and he has. How many books do you have, Rich?
Well, I Ghost wrote a few books, but I've written 2. Yes.
Okay, all right.
With my name on it.
Okay, well you heard it from us. Okay, so we're gonna finish this up, and definitely been good talking to you, Rich. And like I said, you're a good guy and you're an inspirational person to me, and I love you, brother.
Thank you. I love you too, brother. I thank you for having me, and I look forward to future endeavors.
All right. And as far as the podcast world out here, this is it for us tonight, and we'll see you next time. Peace.